everyone. Before we get started and talk about the wonderful world of government, I just wanted to tell you all how much I miss you and being in class and having our little jokes, like the ones that I tell that you guys secretly think are funny and don't laugh to, or how wonderful my art drawings are. I just wanted to say, I hope we're back in class soon. If not, at least you get to hear my wonderful voice on this recording. I don't know why my picture is not showing up. You're blessed in that regard. So before we start talking about our actual content, I wanted to kind of give you an overview of what's going on in the US government right now with everything going on with the COVID-19 pandemic. So if you look at this kind of information, the Ohio primary election, so where Ohio Democrats get to vote for who they think should be the Democratic nominee for the presidential election, is going to be held on April 28th. They actually postponed it, and it is all mail-in. Now, at this point, Joe Biden has 1,217 votes. Bernie Sanders has 914. To win the nomination for the Democratic Party, you need 1,991. Now, something that's really interesting and sad, depending on if you're a Bernie fan or not, today, the day I'm recording this, Bernie Sanders actually announced that he is ending his presidential bid seeking the Democratic nomination. That, however, does not mean that Joe Biden is 100% going to be the candidate. Now, likelihood and historically, Joe Biden more than likely will be the Democratic candidate that will face Donald Trump in the presidential election. However, basically what needs to happen is all of the states still have to have their elections. Now with COVID-19 going on and social distancing, a lot of states are pushing for their primaries to be all mail-in, like Ohio's. In Wisconsin, however, they have a Republican governor who demanded that not only are they not going to postpone their primary election, they did it in person. So people had to choose during this pandemic to go outside, do their civic duty and vote, or to stay inside, do their civic duty, and to not spread the virus. So very interesting kind of little piece of information there. The Democratic Party also moved their Democratic National Convention to August 17th. That is 1 week before the Republican National Convention. And the reason why this is significant is because the actual election day, when we are going to see if somebody knocks out President Trump as president, is going to be November 3rd on Tuesday. Okay, remember it's the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November. Now, here's kind of the crazy thing with that. So if Joe Biden isn't going to officially become a Democratic candidate until August 17th, that gives him September, October, and half of August, 2.5 months, to convince all eligible voting Americans to vote for him. That is not a lot of time. And that's 2.5 months that Donald Trump in turn will have to convince the previous voters to vote for him again and new voters to vote for him. A really big issue in this upcoming presidential election, I shouldn't say issue, or kind of interesting area to look at, is the ages that are voting. A lot of older generations are running the primaries. And when it comes to that, it's interesting because we have a new generation of voters who were not around in the 2016 election. So they did not cast a vote for Hillary or for Trump. And us political scientists, people who are interested in government, we're interested to see what that is going to do. Now, another thing I want to mention is the government recently passed a stimulus bill. So what this is, Congress, our legislative branch, has passed a bill, a law, that is going to provide $2 trillion of money to give to American citizens, small businesses, airline companies, because there aren't people traveling on vacations right now. They are really suffering. So basically what this is the government is giving money to Americans so they can have it to spend so our economy doesn't collapse. When we're looking at effects to our economy right now, if you have been talking about this with Mr. Kettler in economics when you took it with him last semester, our economy, because we are not, as America as a whole, are not working, our economy as buyers, if we're not working, we don't have money, we're not going to be buying all of these things. There probably aren't people out there buying the latest iPhone. It's just not going to be happening right now. So when people aren't spending money, the country as a whole is not making money. And when the country doesn't make money, we suffer together, okay? So that's why they passed this bill, to kind of take some of that strain away. Now, another thing to consider is, how is this going to look going into the next presidential election? You know, we've got Donald Trump, who is president during this situation, and he is helping push through what they call a bipartisan, which means that both the Democrats and the Republicans worked together to pass this bill. So they're interesting. Some people are saying that this might actually help gain him votes because this is an actual action that people see him doing. On the flip side of that, there are several news stations that are actually debating whether or not they should actually cover information about COVID-19 coming from Donald Trump, because on several occasions he has made one comment about how this is going to go, and then the next day the White House releases something that's going a different way. So we're kind of faced with this. Are we reporting all news, or are we reporting only accurate news? Not saying that he's not accurate all the time, but this is just something that's been brought up. And then if you'll notice the picture on the right, I wanted to kind of make this funny. I know you all miss my jokes a lot. So I included a couple of memes. So this old guy says, I got 99 problems and the government is responsible for all of them. There are people out there who think that the government is responsible for all of our problems. If we got rid of the government, the world would be a shiny, wonderful, sparkling place with magical rainbows and unicorns. I disagree wholeheartedly, but there could be people that agree with that. Okay, so moving on now, I'm going to discuss some topics in the packet that you did. So today in this video, I'm just going to cover topic 1. In the next video, I'm going to cover topics 2 and 3, okay? So the goal